These are some of my favorite slides coming up. Funding. Most of our airport projects are funded by 90% by the FAA. And it's been in the papers, well, that's the federal taxpayers, we shouldn't be paying for that. You don't. Almost all of the FAA money that comes to the airport is from the Aviation Trust Fund. The Aviation Trust Fund is 100% funded by user fees. Taxes on fuel, taxes on planes. I think there's a tax on the ticket that goes to that. So whatever FAA gives us, Manchester, Concord, Berlin, or whatever, for airport improvements, doesn't cost the federal taxpayers anything. We also, for most passengers departing the airport from the airline, is a $4.50 charge. That's, again, a user fee. And we use that. The city pays 5%. We use our passenger facility charge to pay back the city the 5%. The city comes up with all the money to pay the whole thing. They get reimbursed by the FAA throughout the project. They get reimbursed by the state throughout the project. And a number of years down the line, they get reimbursed from us, from the airport, with their local share. But again, aviation user fees. Another thing that's a topic of conversation is this, essential air service. Airports like Presque Isle, Bar Harbor, Rockland, Augusta, Lebanon, Rutland don't have enough activity for an airline to come in here and give you a reasonable size plane, reasonable frequency, reasonable destination, and most of all, reasonable cost. So every couple of years, the DOT puts out a proposal and airlines submit to the DOT to say, here is my revenue, here are my expenses, I'm short, I need a subsidy. And so this is a subsidy to the airline. That subsidy also is funded by the Aviation Trust Fund, 100% user fees, no cost to the federal taxpayer. But without this essential air service, we wouldn't have Cape Air, or if we did, you wouldn't have $65 flights to Boston and $160 flights to New York. It'd be way over that. The result of our funding, if I went through back the last 10 years to 2013, haven't done 2014 yet. If you look at every single airport improvement that was made, every single one, these are the costs of those improvements. Some have been FAA funded. The T hangars, the city took on debt service for those. Our revenue pays the debt service on that, so the T hangars are at zero cost to the city. So if you lump all $10.8 million of projects, 82%, 2% by the state, our passenger facility charge here, the airport revenue, like for the T hangars. So you look at the taxpayer cost of airport improvements for the last 10 years is less than 1% and about $18,000. And in that amount of time, we've built T hangars, resurfaced runways, replaced lighting systems. Sounds like a bargain.